Auschwitz. You can't just go to Auschwitz. I mean, it's impossible to just go to Auschwitz and get nothing out of it. But if you go there with the mindset like, this is, I don't care at all, and that is probably very damaging.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see why. Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
That's something that I was thinking before. I was thinking, imagine if we're on one of those places at night, what the crazy things that can happen. I don't know.
Well, I've gone on a lot of ghost. I've gone on some ghost hunts. I've gone on a lot of ghost tours, but ghost hunts. Gettysburg is one of the places that in the United States. So I've gone on some ghost hunts there and had some experiences, but I can't say that they were for sure supernatural. But the craziest one I've ever gone on was it's called the Lizzie Borden House, and so back in the late 1800s. Legend has it that Lizzie Borden killed her dad and her stepmom with an axe, and she hit her dad like 40 sometimes, and her stepmom like 15 times. And anyway, so I went to this house, and it's supposed to be one of the most haunted houses in the world, and it's considered an unsolved mystery because she went through trial and she was let off. But back then, there's a lot of variables to things where, for example, she took a picture and signed these pictures and gave them to the jurors, and she dated one of the jurors. And, so there's a lot of people think the uncle did it, which I actually think the uncle did it. But anyway, so it's this unsolved mystery case, most haunted house in one of the most haunted houses in the world, certainly the United States. And I went there, and to answer your question, I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not. I want to believe, but I haven't had enough. And, so I've had some things happen to me, but it's like, I just don't know. So I went to Lizzie Borden's house. I slept in her room. I slept in her bed.
No, come on. You spent the night there?
I spent the night there. I was actually even in the house for a couple hours by myself before. So it's a bed and breakfast. And so you go there during the day. You can tour it, and if you do tour it, there's a great coffee shop next door. They actually carry my book, that is really good. But yeah, you go there, and there's a mannequin of both the dad and the mom. After they get their faces chopped up. I mean, and they're just laying there throughout the night. It's so crazy. And yeah, I was in that house for a couple hours, just kind of alone, walking around, and you definitely get vibes, but I didn't necessarily experience anything. I tried, but I will admit I was too. So one of the most haunted parts of that is the attic, where I think it was the maid lived in the attic, or the housekeeper, and that's supposedly one of the most haunted, but I was too scared to go up there and sit by myself.
Were you alone, or there were other people in the house?
I was alone for a couple hours, but then there were a family of 4 came in and also stayed there that night. So it was just us in the house, and we actually hung out in the same room and ate pizza together. And I think we were all too scared to just walk around and stuff, but it was quite the experience. And it looks like it would be haunted.
But maybe the vibes, that's what we were talking about before. They were just there because you knew the story. Do you think it would be the same if you just went there thinking it's just a bed and breakfast without knowing the whole back murder and thing? I don't think so, because your mind wouldn't be in the right place,
Yeah, I think that place in particular, they have it looks like it's right out of the 1800s. So it looks haunted. When you go in there, it just if you had a picture in your brain of what a haunted house would look like, that looks like a haunted house. So I think that might be part of why it seems so, if it was all updated, because you can do that. You can go to hotels that had something really traumatic happen, Charles Dickinson died in this room, that type of stuff. And, and then it's made up to be current day. It's like, you don't necessarily have the same vibes because, this awful, it's kind of like the street corner thing you're talking about. You could walk through a street corner where there was a tragedy, and if you don't know about the tragedy, nothing's going to happen. So I think that same thing would happen but anyway, going into that house, even if you didn't know anything, it would give you vibes just because it's a creepy house.
You know,
Yeah.
there's this story that creeps me out. I also don't know if I believe in ghosts, but there's this story of the from the, is the Annabelle doll that you're not
Yeah.
supposed to touch.
Yeah.
Oh man, apparently a guy touched, like for 5 minutes he had to move it somewhere else, like 1 year, 2 years ago. He died. He died. He was like healthy as
Wow.
a bull, and he died. I
Yeah.
think you say healthy as a horse in English, right? I don't know.
Right.
But
Right.
this one, I don't know, man. I also don't know. It's creepy as fuck.
Well, another thing too that a lot of people believe in is, and I write about this one also, is you go to the Valley of the Kings in Egypt, in Luxor, across the river from Luxor, and you go down into these various tombs, but one of them is King Tutankhamun, King Tut. And so Lord Carnarvon and Howard Carter and people that had first explored this tomb, I don't think they died, but a lot of the people that went in there did die, and they talked about the curse of King Tut's tomb. But even Lord Carnarvon himself or Howard Carter didn't believe in the curse, but some people do. I mean, who knows? I'll tell you this. This is the craziest thing that has ever happened to me. And this is, I don't know if it's supernatural or if it's religious or if religious is supernatural. I mean, I don't know, make of it what you will, but I was at the Vatican, and then there's this goofy 3-month rule where it's like, if you're blessed by the Pope at the Vatican, you are protected for 3 months. Okay. So within that 3 months, back at home, I left this house here. I was going to work. It was really, really foggy out. You couldn't see in front of you at all. And I'm always running late. So I was pushing, going probably a little faster than I should.